Being in the army calls for supreme sacrifices. To protect our country and its people, our Jawans continue to make those sacrifices time and again. But what happens to the family of a soldier after he falls in battle? How does the nation remember him? Randeep Singh Nandal visits the family of a martyred soldier, a family that lives each day, anchored only with the memories of what they've lost forever.
Once my father retired, I took over, and when I was about to retire, Nawang joined us. My elder son is into banking. So then the evening sort of used to ask him, yeah, what is it? I don't like this, is an air-conditioned jail for me. I would like to do something adventurous.
So Nawang Kapadia exchanged his starched whites in the family shop for army fatigues and was commissioned in the 4th Battalion, the 3rd Gurkha Rifles, in September 2000. He joined his unit in Kupwara in Kashmir, where barely 2 months later he fell in an encounter with Pakistani militants.
So I was contacted at my Sherpa friend's house, and I did not believe. I told him, are you joking with me? He said, no, you think, father, I'll joke on such matters? And
But true it was. 7 years later, the Kapadias have made their peace, getting on with life. Their connection with their son maintained through a website dedicated to Nawang, documenting his short but heroic life. For Geeta Kapadia, it's a life she says her son was meant to pursue.
Do have a romantic idea of patriotism. I don't know. But if you ask me if I would send my son again, yes, I would.
But since Lieutenant Nawang's demise, they've seen how the India he gave his life for treats its heroes. People in their own community respect their son's martyrdom, but they also consider his fate a deterrent to joining the army.
why don't you sort of made him sit down to the shop? I mean, we have to control our children, make them sit down. Don't listen to him. He was a young boy. He would say, I want to join army. Why did you agree?
The Kapadias are well off and have long lived in Mumbai and were thus spared the humiliations parents of many poor army men have to suffer after their death.
Offices and things like that, they refuse to, especially government offices. But then they are so rude to everyone. That is their criteria.
There are many like the Kapadias in India who grieve in silence for those who left them so young, so full of promise.
After he came from OTA, he said, I'm buying a bike. So I said, fine. He said, you aren't saying no. I said, you're an army officer now. How can I say no? He would be really made for army. He would be a good officer. I mean, that was, I really thought. He was a good officer, but not so short, no? If he was this thing. He had the qualities. He would have, I mean, you know, made his battalion proud over the years.
This is the street Nawang Kapadia grew up in. This is the street corner where he stood every day to catch a school bus, where he hung out with his friends during the rains, where he ran past. And this street has now been named after him. Look at this little board. You'd almost miss it. Thousands of people drive past without realizing that this street corner is now commemorates the death of a soldier who died fighting 1,000 miles away in Jammu and Kashmir. Nawang's parents wanted something far more elaborate than this. They wanted a little plaque listing out the circumstances of their son's death, a little bust of their young soldier son. But then a government official pointed out that, listen, it's all very well for you to put that plaque here and that bust here, but then probably somebody'd come and deface it. There'd be the poster of a political party or maybe a local religious festival covering that plaque. And Nawang's parents realized the logic in that statement, because they know, as do many others whose sons have fallen fighting for this country, that in India public memory is short and we just don't have that much respect or regard for our fallen heroes. In Mumbai, Randeep Singh Nandal for NDTV.